Ami, the sun's gonna set soon. Oni Island's gonna disappear. That revelation Himiko risked her life to tell us. Whatever we do, we can't let it go to waste. Who cares if we can't break the barrier on Oni Island? Let's make a beeline for Watcher's Cape, Ami. Indeed, this is what we must do. Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Ōkami. Last time, after giving Rao the Fox Rods in the hopes that she would be able to defeat the Dark Lord, it was revealed that that very same Rao was indeed the Dark Lord himself, who proceeded to murder Queen Himiko in the hopes of keeping his stronghold a secret. However, Amaterasu and Isun and Himiko had an epic plan where giving the Fox Rods to Rao was actually the plan all along. It's kind of crazy. Himiko knew full well of her fate all this time, and now that her soul has been destroyed along with the crystal ball, we must head to Watcher's Cape before the sun has fully set, because if we fail at this task, Oni Island will indeed disappear. Hey, how did you get in here, mutt? This is terrible. How did you get past our foolproof defenses? How could we let Queen Himiko down like this? Oh, if only you knew, sir. If only you knew. Now, I do have to warn you all. This sequence is indeed timed, so you do have to make your way down to Watcher's Cape very, very quickly. I believe the intention is to pass straight through Seon City and pass into North Ryoshima Coast. As you can see in this room, Rao is indeed gone. So many women to keep track of in this game, seriously. Although, honestly, our list has seriously dwindled in the past few episodes, and I feel like this whole plot line with Rao and Himiko is probably one of the best sequences in this entire game, just because the plot gets really, really heavy, and the twists, I feel like people who don't have a very innate knowledge of Japanese mythology might not see this plot twist coming until we're practically right on top of it, and I think that's really, really respectable of this game. But anyway, we have made it nearly through the city, and as you can see, sunset is indeed setting in. We need to get to Watcher's Cape as quickly as we can. How on earth did you get into the city? Security's so tight, no one should be able to get through. Oh well, I don't suppose we need to worry about a dog too much. You look far too cute to be a demon in disguise anyway. As you can see, the sky has gotten more and more foreboding. Darkness crawls in, both in terms of the sky and in terms of the evil rising above Ryoshima Coast. As you can hear, the bird call signals the coming of sunset. We need to get to Oni Island as quickly as possible by way of Watcher's Cape, which is indeed the very same place where we were able to awaken the entrance to the Dragon Palace. Very significant point of interest, this place. Anyway, what we want to do is simply cast up a catwalk and climb up here as quickly as we possibly can. And as you can see, before us lies the evil stronghold of Oni Island. Why, Amaterasu. Hiya, babe. How'd you ever find this place? I sensed Queen Himiko's fathomless regret upon her last breath. It made its way to the distant halls of the Dragon Palace. Behold, the sun, even now it sinks down beyond the sea. Once it is gone, so too shall Oni Island disappear. No one knows where it will appear next, and no art known to mortals can divine its location. That may be true, but listen. It really doesn't matter because we can't break the barrier. I mean, The water dragon was our only hope. And it's dead now. The water dragon is not dead in the true sense of the word. I can harness its power with a sincere prayer to the dragon orb. Behold, Amaterasu, I, Otohime of the Dragonians, shall transform into a dragon and break through the wall that divides. May I serve you as a divine bridge to the heavens. Now, Amaterasu, you must cross while life yet courses through these veins. Okay, hang in there, babe. We'll be back in a jiffy. Sorry, Furball. Looks like Malay dumplings aren't in your stars. You'll have to settle for kicking some monster butt on Oni Island. And yes, when they said a bridge, they meant a literal, actual bridge, which I do find amusing, even in this atmosphere of deep, dark evil. We now enter the evil stronghold. We now enter Oni Island. Listen up, Ami. Himiko's probably watching over us, so promise me you won't give up for some stupid reason like you're hungry or have to go to the bathroom. Are you ready? This is basically a point of no return. Once you say, of course, you cannot come back from Oni Island until you have defeated the monsters within. But I feel like we don't have a choice. We must avenge all of the death that the evil demons have caused. Okay, then. I'll hold you to your word. We are now inside. Oni Island looms tall before us. Whoa. That looks nasty. Normally, we'd be crispy critters if we touched that stuff. But it shouldn't be any different from water for you now, Ami. Come on, how about some of that water magic of yours? Yes, indeed, you can combine water and fire in this area. However, I do like to show this little detail. Now cut that out, Furball. Now cut that out, Furball. Yes, I do love that. Seems we're going to break Himiko's concentration if we're not careful. Anyway, you can indeed combine fire and water to create... Not that. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, I know this works. Alright, maybe we should jump in first. Yes, you can indeed create Fire Spout, which I think is really, really cool. Anyway, as you can see in here, Oni Island is quite the stronghold. Like the Moon Cave and inside the Water Dragon, you cannot return to this area after you have completed it. As a result, there are no stray beads and no sun fragments, but as you might imagine, there is a lot of treasure. Anyway, jumping down here, you can see there is lava. Now, you do have to be careful when you're navigating around this area, because as you might imagine, you aren't making any sort of, what are they? Water lilies in this area if the game has anything to say about it. So what you want to do is you want to make ample use of jumping to navigate through this crazy maze of lava. Anyway, right over there, it would appear we have a Konohana Blossom, even in this place. Anyway, let us vine right on over there. It's been quite a while since we used this power, which is a shame because I really, really like it. Inside we have a pearl, which we can sell for money, of course. but I think where we want to go is over in that direction. Now, I will be honest, my main concern at the present time is to find a save mirror, because the last time I saved was prior to episode 29. So, yeah, you can imagine I really, really want to find an opportunity to save the game as soon as possible. So, I do apologize if I do seem like I'm a little bit nervous here, because I've been playing for nearly 2 hours at this point. Anyway, right up here is this central area. I'm pretty sure there's more treasure around here that you could find if you really, really wanted to, but I'm not that desperate. Anyway, right here, we have the introduction of 2 new enemies. I believe these are called red and blue ogres, and oh my god, they suck to fight. Like, seriously, I hate fighting these guys. No matter what you do, it feels like nothing is going to work, and honestly, that's probably what's going to be happening for a while here. So what you want to do is you want to sort of wail on them a little bit from behind, because they have these crazy shields up. So let's sneak up back here, and let's get some wailing on these guys. But yeah, man oh man, later on in this game, they introduce some enemies that, quite honestly, are a chore to fight. I suppose it's understandable considering we are nearing the end of the adventure, although this is not the final dungeon, don't get me wrong. This is not anywhere close to the end of our full adventure, but we are getting close in terms of... we are more than halfway through the game. In fact, I'd argue we're about 2/3 of the way through the game at this point. Anyway, continuing to wail, you can indeed break their masks open, and boy, oh boy, these guys are ugly behind the mask. I mean, sheesh. Anyway, wail on them a little bit more, and I do have to admit, I don't remember what these guys' floral finisher is, although I think it's a power we don't yet have, so I wouldn't stress out about it too much. Anyway, we can break this mask as well, and down goes them both. Awesome. And man oh man, that was a long fight. Oh wow, we got perfect on that. Nice. That is awesome. Anyhow, right here, right over here, you can see we overlook that lava area. So if for whatever reason you want to jump back, you can. Now I want to point out this door. You know, people in this game have had some great security, so what does the Dark Lord do? He just opens the friggin' door. This guy must be seriously confident, because that is some lax security if I ever saw it. Oni Island. You'd have to have a pretty warped mind to build a castle here. I bet those 2-bit monsters think they're big shots living here. Let's teach them a lesson by fighting our way to the top, and dragging that fox-headed wench down by the scruff of her neck. Interestingly, the game often refers to the Dark Lord as male, but since Isun has known, quote-unquote, her as the busty babe Rao for so long, I guess his confusion is understandable. But anyway, holy cow, a save mirror, yes! Alrighty, now that we've gotten that taken care of, I want to mention something really quick while I talk to this merchant right here. You might have noticed over the past couple of episodes, and I haven't gotten an opportunity to discuss it yet, is that the game has really undergone a pretty significant tonal shift. Because up until now, honestly, I don't know if you guys got this impression, but I always felt like the game was very whimsical and fantasy-like in nature. And even though there were some tense moments, it never felt like truly dark in terms of how the game was laid out. Like, even though there were people in danger, no one ever died. And that changed pretty abruptly last episode, and I feel like that just the game from here on out is going to seem quite a bit more, I guess, dark in nature, just because that's the point in the game where I feel like the game really shifts out of the stereotypical fantasy setting and becomes something, I don't want to say greater than that, but it's very different. I don't know if you guys got that impression, and also it's worth noting, I never really have done a game on this channel before where stuff got really that serious in tone, and I really hope my commentary came through that I was trying to really sort of drive home what was going on in the game at that moment. I don't know, I just really hope that I was able to adequately do these scenes justice. But anyway, fighting 2 poltergeists right here, which gives us the chance for 10 demon fangs. Now, even though we spent a lot of demon fangs with the Emperor, you're gonna want quite a few more for a item that's required for a couple of stray beads. Anyway, right here, we have a key, surprise, surprise, so we want to take that and see if we can find a door to use it at. Unfortunately, this way, there's a statue of the 9-strike sword right here. Can't really do anything about this quite yet, unfortunately. Now, I might as well point out, this dungeon is huge. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest dungeon in all of Ōkami, so the episode splits while we're in here, like where I stop the one video and begin the next, might seem a little bit arbitrary, but that's just to make sure that the length of these videos doesn't get too crazy just because it is pretty long. Anyway, jumping right over here, we have Bullhorn. You're definitely going to want to collect a lot of treasures because in addition to Demon Fangs, there's some really expensive stuff that you can buy with actual money in this area. Anyway, right around here, I believe we're going to get introduced to something new in this area. To the Labyrinth of Torment. Before playing in the Labyrinth of Torment, note the following. 1. Step on the foot switch and the demon slip will start moving. Get through the exit gate first, or you'll be sealed in. 2. To make a dash, swing the Wii remote to perform a tackle, and press and hold the control stick forward. Dashing is the fastest way to reach the exit gate. 3. The Labyrinth of Torment is for the enjoyment of everyone on Oni Island, so don't make a mess of it while playing. Wow, these monsters actually have rules and stuff. Yes, indeed, this is actually a bit of a playground on Oni Island, which means even though the game has gotten significantly darker in tone, I feel, they still know how to have some fun. Excuse me, good sir. Might I ask what you are doing here? Huh? Did that scrap of paper just say something? Scrap of paper? Do not dishonor me with such an unflattering name. My name is Toby. Yes, indeed, and this looks like it is one of Rao's prayer slips, oddly enough. Yeah, whatever. So what do you want, Motormouth? I serve as a gatekeeper of Oni Island. My job is to keep suspicious people out. I've never seen you around here before, good sir. Who are you, and what business do you have here? You talking to my fine furry friend? Well, this here is Full Throttle Ami. We gotta get up to the top of this castle ASAP. Sorry, no time to shoot the breeze with ya. I am afraid I cannot allow that. Did you not hear me? I am a gatekeeper of Oni Island. But let us dispense with the formalities. So, good sir, you are known as Full Throttle Ami, are you? Well, I fancy myself a fine racer too, you know. How about we challenge each other to a race? Just a race to see who can reach that exit gate over there first. That sign there explains how to race against me. But as you said, let us stop shooting the breeze. From now on, let our race do the talking. Yep, this is indeed a race. Now, you might be inclined to use Veil of Mist during these races, but as far as I know, it doesn't actually work. Anyway, as you can see right there, the main goal is to basically cross through this exit gate before Toby does, and I definitely recommend equipping the Golden Lucky Cat for this, because it will automatically attract reward money to you, which is pretty nice. Not bad, good sir. But that was a mere warm-up for me. Now you shall see what I really can do. Now, I ask you, good sir, can you bear being skewered alive? Stumble and you will fall headfirst into a sea of needles. Well, can you bear such a thing? What are you talking about? I mean, who possibly could? Well, whatever happens, Please do not give up. It is so exciting to finally have a worthy opponent after so long. Alright, here we have another race. And it is worth noting that in this particular race and a couple of other races, if you happen to screw it up enough times, the layout of that race will actually change. And I just want to point out that I did that race first try when it took Chugga Conroy like 6 tries, and I'm really, really proud of that fact. Anyway, right over here, there is a bit of a hidden treasure, which is nice. Crystal for us to grab. I don't think there's anything else in this room, unfortunately. Anyway, we head right up here. You might realize that this is a bit of a racing gauntlet, so you might either really like this area because it's so fun, or you might hate it because you're really bad at the races and it will literally drive you up the wall. So, yeah, some people love this area, some people hate it. I personally could go either way on it. Plus, we are, of course, going to be getting a new power somewhere in this dungeon because, you know, why wouldn't we? And it's honestly one of my favorites. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. Anyway, right through here, I believe, is another race. You seem a bit winded, good sir. Do not risk your life by overdoing it, hee hee. Who are you, Midna? The terraced passage ahead is not all that dangerous. Shall we? Indeed, we shall. I believe the way this works is you need to jump down, and then jump up, and up again, and up again, and then down. If you happen to screw it up, there is a cat statue there, but I'm pretty sure if you do happen to fall, there's pretty much no chance of you beating this guy. I must warn you now, good sir. The true horror of the Labyrinth of Torment starts here. Perhaps it would be best if we turned back now. There are a lot of typos in this game. I never realized that before. Heh, getting cold feet, aren't you, Scrap? Now, stop blabbing and let's get on with it. I was hoping you would say that, good sir. The passage of saws lies ahead. This is where I get serious. This one, if I recall correctly, is actually pretty difficult, because as you can see, Toby moves incredibly fast through this area. So you really, really need to step up your game right here. Alright, am I gonna make it? Come on, Ami, you can make it. You can make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Here's what happens if you fail. The floor opens up and you fall. Yep. That wasn't exactly my most flattering moment, and you do indeed lose health for that, so make sure to keep an eye on that. Anyway, what I recommend is sort of charging up your dash until you have the gold behind you, and that way you can enter this race going your top speed. Hopefully you don't interrupt it by accident by shaking the Wii remote like I did, but if you do enter with that extra bit of speed, you should be able to make this race no problem. As you can see right here, it looks like I'm going to beat it second try, which honestly isn't too bad. Alrighty, so right here, gonna whack that, and we obtained a lacquerware set, which is very nice. And I don't think there's anything else in this room. Do the pots give you anything? Wow, nothing. Nothing at all. Did these? A little bit of money. What a fine race you run, good sir. Full Throttle Ami is a fitting name indeed. But I cannot bear to lose again. It is a matter of personal honor. Well, shall we? The passage of demonic wheels awaits. Yep, there's another really, really, really crazy passage right here with a lot of very sharp stuff. So what you want to do is you want to enter it going full speed. And I believe the Veil of Mist power will actually slow down the wheels right here, and it might actually be worth my time to do that. Is that actually what happens? Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, even though they give you Veil of Mist in... I lost. Big time. Even though they give you Veil of Mist, it's really not very helpful for this area, unfortunately. And I do find this race to be... I don't want to say the absolutely hardest, but one of the hardest races against Toby, just because your way of getting through here actually is in motion, which is a little nerve-wracking. Anyway, it looks like I'm going to beat him second try, which isn't too bad. Alrighty. And right here, we have Exorcism Slip M, which is very nice. Now, one thing that's worth noting I don't think there's any way to get praise in this area, which is unfortunate because I am exactly 21 praise away from upgrading my health. So, if you want to upgrade your stuff before coming here, you're probably going to want to do it before you face off against the water dragon, believe it or not. I am absolutely astonished. I never thought you could keep up with me. Oh, get over it, Scrap. You're just not as good as you think you are. Very well. Let us try something a bit different this time. No disrespect intended, good sir. But do you think you can beat me in the Chamber of Delay? This one is interesting. You don't really need to have a run-up for this race because, as you'll notice, Toby moves very, very slowly through this room. However, there is a required fight that you have to beat with 3 Headless Guardians, and you're definitely going to want to take these guys out pretty quickly. Although I believe when you bring up your brush, it does actually stop Toby in his tracks, so you should be okay in that regard. Anyway, taking out these enemies, they are all already dead. The entrance is right here. And now, I guess it's worth noting that pressing plus on this screen causes it to disappear sooner, which can give you a couple of extra seconds advantage. Anyhow, right here, we have a coral fragment, which is very nice. Anyway, this episode's actually been going on for quite a while, and after that gauntlet of Toby races, it will be a little bit into the dungeon before we see another one. So I think here, even though it's a little bit arbitrary of a point, is a good place to end things off. So, this past episode of Ōkami, we got here to Oni Island after some crazy, crazy stuff went down in the Imperial Palace. In here, we indeed met Toby, who is the gatekeeper of Oni Island. However, it looks like we seem to be able to get him to abandon his post if we agree to race him, which we have done, I want to say, 4 or 5 times thus far already. And next time on Ōkami, without any other way to go, we are going to be proceeding in that direction, further up to the top of Oni Island. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.